The screen shakes with glitch effects, bold text flashes. Leaked trailer? Dark, suspenseful music creeps in as the narrator's voice cuts through the silence. Something big just slipped through the cracks. A trailer that wasn't supposed to be seen yet. Could this really be the first look at Landman Season 2, Episode 1? Or is it a clever trick designed to get fans talking? Tonight, we break it all down. Landman, the show that dug into the heart of the oil boom in America and left fans on the edge of their seats. Season 1 was a storm of grit, power, and betrayal. It wasn't just another drama, it was a raw, tense look at how far people would go when money, energy, and survival were all on the line. For many viewers, it wasn't just television, it was a mirror of real struggles happening in small towns. And big cities alike. That's what made it different. That's what made it unforgettable. And ever since the last episode aired, fans have been hungry for more. Hungry for answers. Hungry for the next chapter. Whispers of a second season began, almost immediately spreading like wildfire through online communities. And then silence. No word from Paramount Plus, no confirmation. Just rumors. Until now, because suddenly out of nowhere clips began to appear online. Not polished, not released officially, but shaky, rough, almost unfinished footage. A trailer that seemed to have escaped before its time. The words Landman Season 2 Episode 1 trailer leaked spread across Twitter, Reddit, and fan forums within hours. Some called it fake. Others swore it was real. But whether it's the real deal or a carefully staged move, one thing is certain. It has set the entire Landman fanbase on fire. So what does this supposed trailer show? Well, the first thing that jumps out is the tone. Season 1 already pushed boundaries, but this feels darker, heavier. The oil fields aren't just backdrops, they're battlegrounds. The voiceover in the leaked footage teases the cost of power, and the imagery shows drilling rigs lit up at night like war machines against a blood-red sky. It feels less like a continuation and more like an escalation. And then there are the characters. At least 2 familiar faces can be spotted, though the quality of the footage makes it hard to confirm. Fans who studied the leak frame by frame believe they saw Owen Wilson's character stepping back into the chaos, his expression harder, more weathered. Another shot seems to show Billy Bob Thornton in shadow, staring across a boardroom table, ready to strike. These moments might only last seconds, but they carry weight. If this is real, Paramount Plus is raising the stakes. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Some believe the so-called trailer is fan-made, stitched together with clever editing and old clips. Others argue that the audio quality, the transitions, and the tone feel too polished to be fake. Either way, the buzz it's generating is undeniable. Even people who never watched Season 1 are now curious. What could possibly be so secret that it accidentally leaked before its time? But here's the thing about leaks. They don't just reveal, they provoke. And this leak, real or not, is provoking all the right emotions, excitement, suspense, anticipation. Fans are suddenly rewatching old episodes, dissecting every scene and debating what Season 2 could bring. That's the power of mystery. And, that's exactly why this leak feels too perfect to be an accident. Asterisk, the footage begins not with action, but with silence. A slow drone shot over endless oil rigs, the horizon blurred by smoke and dust. It looks unfinished, like raw production material that was never meant for public eyes. Yet, in that rawness, it feels authentic. The kind of thing that isn't polished enough to be marketing, but still powerful enough to grab your attention. This is where the so-called leaked trailer begins. At first glance, you notice the shadows. Everything in this footage seems darker, harsher. The bright sun-soaked fields from Season 1 are gone. Instead, storm clouds roll in over drilling sites, machinery groaning as if the land itself is struggling to breathe. And then a voice, low and gravelly, cuts through. Every drop comes with a price. It's quick, almost whispered, but it immediately sets the tone. This isn't just about oil anymore, it's about consequences. The trailer then shifts. In a blink, the imagery turns chaotic. Flames burst from a pipeline, workers sprint across the dirt, alarms echo in the distance. The leak doesn't last long, just a few seconds of panic. But it's enough to suggest that this season is going to push the drama far beyond boardrooms and family feuds. This is danger, physical and real, burning at the edges of every scene. And then the characters appear. Not clear, not in full detail, but in flashes like a memory you're not supposed to have. A man in a hard hat slams his fist against a desk. Another figure stands alone in a desert night, the only light coming from oil fires behind him. Fans online have slowed the footage, frame by frame, trying to identify who's who. Some swear they spotted Owen Wilson's Mike Leary, his jaw clenched tighter than before. Others argue it's Billy Bob Thornton's Tommy Norris, eyes locked on an unseen rival. The blurred lines only add to the mystery. What makes this leak so fascinating is its unfinished feel. It doesn't have the clean transitions or dramatic logos you expect from an official Paramount Plus release. Instead, the cuts are rough, like someone pieced it together quickly from confidential footage. In one moment, a scene cuts off mid-sentence. In another, the camera angle shakes like raw on-set material, and yet, it flows. Too well, some say, to be coincidence. Could it really be a marketing stunt disguised as a leak? Or is it exactly what it looks like, an accident that slipped past security and landed in the wrong hands? There's one particular moment in the leaked footage that fans can't stop talking about. A single line of dialogue buried under static. You think the land is yours? The land doesn't belong to anyone? It's delivered in a cold, heavy voice, one that fans are desperate to match to a character. Some believe it's a new villain, an unseen rival with ties deeper than any we've met before. Others argue it's a returning character, reinvented, hardened by betrayal. Whoever it is, that line has already become the center of speculation. Quoted across social media, fueling endless theories, the pacing of the trailer never slows down. One shot shows helicopters circling an oil field. Another flashes to what looks like a courtroom where lawyers slam papers against a table. Then a family dinner faces tense, eyes untrusting, forks clinking in silence. It's not just about the oil industry anymore. It's about politics, law, loyalty, and survival. And if this is only the first trailer, the actual season could explode with storylines fans haven't even imagined. But here's what makes this leak different from others. It doesn't feel random. Most leaks are messy, blurry phone recordings, grainy and hard to watch. This one, though rough, feels purposeful. It's just polished enough to spread like wildfire, but just unfinished enough to feel believable as an accidental drop. That balance is what has everyone second-guessing. Did Paramount Plus really lose control of their own content? Or is this the smartest way to light a fire under the fanbase? No matter the truth, one thing is clear. The leak has done its job. It has people talking, debating, and most importantly, waiting. Waiting for confirmation. Waiting for an official release. Waiting to see if the chaos glimpsed in those 2 minutes will really define Landman Season 2. And in the end, that's the beauty of a leak. It doesn't just show, it teases. It doesn't just tell, it makes you imagine. And right now, the imagination of the Landman fanbase is running wild. Every good leak sparks more questions than answers. And this supposed Landman Season 2 trailer is no different. In fact, it might be the most carefully dissected 2 minutes of television footage in recent memory. Fans aren't just watching it, they're slowing it down frame by frame, hunting for hidden details, and then taking to forums and social media to piece the puzzle together. The results? A flood of theories that range from the believable to the downright shocking. One of the biggest points of speculation is the new power struggle hinted at in the footage. In Season 1, much of the drama revolved around the balance of power between oil executives, workers, and families caught in the middle, but this leak suggests something larger. A wide shot of drilling equipment being transported by military vehicles has set off alarms in fan circles. Why would the military be involved? Is it a government crackdown on reckless drilling? Or is there a bigger conspiracy at play, one where oil isn't just an industry but a weapon? That single detail alone could mean the stakes have been raised. From corporate boardrooms to global conflict, then there's the matter of returning characters. The footage is too blurred to offer certainty, but sharp-eyed viewers insist they spotted familiar faces in fleeting moments. One theory claims that Billy Bob Thornton's character, once seen as a cunning puppet master, is no longer pulling strings, but instead being pushed into a corner. His shadowed figure in the leak, sitting across a polished boardroom table, looks less like a man in control and more like someone under siege. If true, this could mean a complete reversal of power dynamics in Season 2, where old titans fall and new players rise. Another hot topic is the mystery voice that delivers the chilling line. You think the land is yours? The land doesn't belong to anyone. For fans, this has become a lightning rod of debate. Some argue it belongs to a new antagonist, possibly a rival oil tycoon with global reach. Others believe it could be a returning character reborn in a darker role, someone disillusioned by past betrayals. The ambiguity of that voice has turned it into the centerpiece of speculation, almost overshadowing the visuals themselves, beyond the characters. Fans have also latched onto small background details. A shot of a protest sign reading "Our Land, Our Rights" has sparked theories that Season 2 will introduce a storyline about environmental activists clashing with oil corporations. If that's true, Landman might not only be raising the stakes in terms of drama, but also diving headfirst into real-world debates. That alone could make the new season more relevant and more controversial than ever before. And then there's the imagery of fire. In the leaked trailer, flames are everywhere. Oil rigs explode, pipelines ignite. Even the night sky glows orange in multiple shots. Some viewers believe this symbolizes collapse. The idea that the foundations of power built in Season 1 are crumbling in Season 2. Others think it's more literal, that an industrial disaster will spark the events of the new season, forcing characters to pick sides not just for money but for survival, but speculation doesn't stop there. Eagle-eyed fans have pointed out what looks like a courtroom scene buried deep in the footage. The camera pans across a stack of legal documents stamped with the word indictment. What does that mean? Is one of the major characters facing criminal charges? Could the government be stepping in to dismantle corrupt deals from Season 1? If this is true, the stakes aren't just physical, they're legal, political, and personal. Perhaps the most thrilling theory, though, is that the leak itself is part of the story. Some fans believe Paramount Plus intentionally let this unfinished trailer slip online to create a buzz that mirrors the show's themes. Landman is all about secrecy, deals behind closed doors, and information slipping out at the worst possible time. What better way to market Season 2 than by staging a leak that feels just as high stakes as the show itself? It's a theory that blurs the line between fiction and reality, and it's working. Of course, none of this is confirmed. And that's the beauty of speculation. The leaked trailer doesn't give answers. It gives just enough to ignite the imagination. Every shadowy figure could be a hero or a villain. Every explosion could be a beginning or an end. Every whispered line could reshape the entire narrative. And until Paramount Plus steps in to release the official trailer, the only thing fans have is the thrill of not knowing at the end of the day. The leak may be real, it may be fake, or it may be a carefully designed marketing trick. But the effect is the same. Landman Season 2 has gone from a silent mystery to one of the most talked about shows in development. The leaked footage hasn't spoiled the story. It's fueled it. And now all eyes are locked on Paramount Plus, waiting for confirmation, waiting for clarity, waiting for the real storm to arrive. The moment the so-called leaked trailer hit the internet, fans wasted no time turning it into a digital battlefield. Twitter timelines flooded with clips, Reddit threads stacked hundreds of comments deep, and YouTube breakdowns appeared within hours, each one claiming to have discovered something new. It wasn't just about watching the footage. It was about owning a piece of the mystery, being the one to point out the detail everyone else missed. One fan froze a blurry shot and claimed, "You could see a new female character standing in the shadows of an oil derrick." Another insisted the reflection in a window showed a familiar face, proof, they argued, that a supposedly dead character from season 1 was making a shocking return. And then there were the sound analysts, looping the voiceover again and again, adjusting pitch and tone in editing software to prove that the chilling line, "The land doesn't belong to anyone," belonged to Billy Bob Thornton. Whether they were right or wrong didn't matter. The debate itself became the fuel. The reactions weren't just theories. They were emotional. Some fans called the leaked footage the best thing to happen all year. Others admitted they were shaking after watching it, convinced that the series was about to outdo itself. And then there were the skeptics, the ones who dismissed the entire leak as a clever hoax. Too polished to be fake, too rough to be official, one Reddit comment read, which means Paramount planned this, and honestly, it's genius. But perhaps the most powerful reaction wasn't the excitement, it was the anticipation. Overnight, Landman Season 2 became a trending topic. People who had never watched the first season suddenly started binging it, desperate to catch up before the new one arrived. Clips from Season 1 were reposted everywhere, often paired with side-by-side comparisons to the leaked footage. The fandom wasn't just buzzing, it was multiplying. And while Paramount Plus has remained silent, that silence is its own kind of strategy. Every day without a statement is another day fans argue, another day theories spread, another day the hype grows louder. If this was an accidental leak, it's the kind of accident most studios would dream of. If it was intentional, then it's one of the smartest pieces of marketing we've seen in years. Either way, Landman is no longer just a show. It's a conversation, a guessing game, a storm waiting to break. The power of this leak lies in how little it actually shows. There are no spoilers, no clear storylines, no confirmed character arcs. Instead, it's flashes just enough to spark imagination, a pipeline explosion, a courtroom filled with tension, a whispered line that feels like a warning. These fragments force the audience to build their own stories. And in doing so, they've already invested in the season before it's even released. That's the brilliance of mystery. It doesn't tell you everything, it makes you desperate to know more. Now the question hanging in the air is simple. When will the truth arrive? The leak may have created the storm, but the official trailer, the real, polished, undeniable trailer, will be the lightning strike that changes everything. Fans are watching every Paramount Plus social feed, refreshing pages, setting alerts, waiting for the moment the curtain finally drops. And that brings us to the closing note. Whether this trailer was a true slip-up or a carefully placed spark, it has already achieved its goal. The world is talking about Landman. The fans are ready. The theories are endless. And when the official Season 2 trailer finally arrives, one thing is certain, it won't just be another release. It will feel like the answer to a question thousands of people have been asking ever since the leak first spread. So, was the Landman Season 2 Episode 1 trailer really leaked? Or was it all part of the plan? The truth doesn't even matter anymore. What matters is the anticipation it created, the storm it unleashed, and the fact that everyone, fans, critics, and newcomers alike, are now staring at Paramount Plus, waiting for the moment the oil wells ignite once more. The screen fades to black. A single line appears in bold text. Landman Season 2, coming soon, Paramount Plus, and as the music swells, the narrator delivers the final note. Leak or not, the game has changed, and Season 2 is about to prove it.